It's the creepy video that freaked everyone out.
Imagine being lost in the cold Canadian forest. As you scrounge for every ounce of energy to keep going and find warmth and shelter, you feel a set of eyes piercing you in the back of your head. You turn to face your stalker, and through the whiteout of the blowing snow, you're met with a cold set of dead eyes that are terrifyingly alive. These eyes belong to a tall, emaciated figure with its pale skin clinging tightly to its bones, and the creature gives off a very strong smell of death and decay. This creature is known as the Wendigo, and as you keep your gaze on this horrifying creature, you know your time is about to come. Your only hope is that it spares your life, only to drive you into a cannibalistic insanity. Tales of the Wendigo go back many thousands of years in the indigenous tribes of Canada and the northern United States. They see him as a symbol of greed, gluttony, and excess, due to his insatiable desire to kill and never stop killing. Much like the legendary skinwalker of the Navajo tribes in the southwestern United States,
Skinwalker, a well-known legend in Indian country.
the Wendigo can mimic the sound of human voices to lure in his next victim. And since the last words of their victims are cries for help, many report hearing strange cries for help deep within the woods that they know to be a Wendigo. This investigation takes us to a remote cabin near Lake Winnipeg, one of the largest freshwater lakes in North America. Home to the Manipogo, otherwise known as Canada's Loch Ness Monster. And not far from where we're staying off the coast of Lake Winnipeg is an island known as Devil's Island, where brave campers report being chased away by eerie lights and hearing disembodied voices around them throughout the night. This story is of a man named Gary and his stepson Mark. Since meeting years before and getting married to Mark's mom prior, Gary always had a very difficult time bonding with Mark. And if bonding with a new stepson isn't hard enough, Mark was a special needs teenager that always had a very difficult time sharing his thoughts and feelings with Gary. But Gary was very determined to break the barrier with Mark, as he already loved him as his own son. In October 2019, at the request of Mark's mother, Gary took his new stepson to his cabin in remote Manitoba for a weekend just to try to break the barrier between them. After a day of hiking through the woods, they said their goodnights to each other and went to sleep. Mark had a history of heavy sleepwalking, so he slept with a bell around his wrist to alert his family that he was up and sleepwalking so they could wake him up and bring him back to bed. A heavy sleeper himself, when Gary awoke the next morning, he found the front door wide open and no sign of Mark. In a panic, he rushed out the door to look for his stepson. After 30 minutes of frantically searching the grounds that they had hiked on the day prior, he finally heard it. Much deeper into the forest, Gary began to hear the bell around his stepson's wrist ringing frantically. Gary sprinted in the direction of the sound, hoping that nothing had happened to Mark. But as he got closer, he heard the unmistakable sound of Mark sobbing. Adrenaline flowing, he summoned the energy to sprint even harder, and when he finally found Mark, he was sitting on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. Gary checked Mark for any signs of bruising, cuts, but he was completely unharmed. But what he found sitting 10 feet away was very macabre and very perplexing. Mark had found a dead bobcat in the woods, and being a huge animal lover, he couldn't handle the sight of something he viewed no differently than his house cat at home in such a gruesome state. The animal was mutilated, coated in maggots and covered in flies, and it left a gut-wrenching stench throughout the area. Gary figured that a black bear was the likely culprit, but he found it odd that the bobcat still had plenty of edible meat left on its bones, something that was very unlikely in this type of scenario. In fact, it seemed to Gary that this animal was killed simply for sport. This was a very strange incident indeed, but this isn't where it ended. Fast forward to October 2021, and this is where things really got strange. Gary took a solo trip to the cabin in October 2021, almost 2 years to the date of the last incident with Mark. Gary noticed a similar killing that was left to waste, but this time it was that of a small coyote, and this time the killer seemed to be nearby. It was the early evening of a beautiful night when he was taking a stroll in the forest. The pink Manitoba sunset engulfed the sky as the colorful autumn leaves were being pushed from their branches in preparation for winter, covering the trail that Gary was walking upon. But because of the dead leaves scattered across the forest floor, Gary was finally able to catch a glimpse of the creature that was also laying claim to the land that his cabin was situated on. He heard the leaves ahead of him begin to crack and break under the feet of something unforeseen to him at the time, as it was very hard to move undetected through a bed of dry leaves. And that's when he noticed it. Gary's head darted in the direction of the last crunch of the leaf that he had heard, and he became face to face with the creature. Its cold, dead eyes piercing through the tree line as it stood up from being on a position of all fours. The creature then climbed a tree that was about 100 yards ahead of Gary, one that was still mainly covered in leaves, so he couldn't get a good look at the creature as it climbed. And that's when he noticed the dead coyote, which is still steaming in the cold October air. Gary then turned and ran back towards his cabin, and as he was running, he could hear the leaves crunching behind him as whatever this thing was chasing him. He knew he wasn't going to make it back to his cabin in time, so he aimed for the closest cabin in the vicinity that could get him out of danger in time. In the area, it's not very uncommon to leave spare keys around your cabin, and Gary knew where the spare key was to this particular cabin because he had helped them out with some cabin upkeep in the past. So Gary went directly for the spare key, not knowing if anybody was home, and knowing that he did not have time to knock and wait for an answer. A ringing sound filled his head as adrenaline pushed through his body, and before he knew it, he was able to unlatch the lock and enter his neighbor's house in complete darkness, not knowing if the creature was still chasing him at this point or not. Gary waited there until the next morning before he made his way over to his own cabin to pack his bags and leave. Gary did, however, return to the cabin the very next month with some friends, and during the evening, he heard something walking around the cabin. They made their way to the front window not knowing what it was, but assuming that it was a black bear, but Gary knew in fact that it was something else. He hoped for the best but prepared for the worst. Inside, Gary was screaming, but he did not want to startle his guests. As Gary opened the front door to see what it was, he was audibly shocked as he noticed a dead rabbit lying on his front step. A fresh, bloody kill that was steaming in the orange halogen glow of his front lights. And he knew exactly who the culprit of this killing was. The pale skin and piercing eyes of this creature still burned in his memory. He knew that the creature was most likely still watching him, but he shut the door, turned around, and he told his guests that it was just the neighbor's dog. When Gary got home from this incident, he did a lot more research into what could have possibly been the culprit, as he knew what he was dealing with was not a wild animal, and he came across the story of a Wendigo. And based on the description that he found, he knew that this is probably what he was dealing with.
See, I'll try and point on the video. Right there. In that window.
Like the left
Yeah.
bay window there?
On my side, you can see it looks like the front door on the side door there is open. And it looked like somebody's inside. And I
thought I saw that little, you can see a little bit of light through that window.
Yeah.
I thought I might have saw like a shadow or something walk through it. Well, we'll go in and check it out.
Yeah, this door is open.
What door? Oh, yeah, this, you can't see it on video. This door is wide open.
There's a hat there.
Oh! Is anybody in here? You waiting for us already?
Oh my god.
Is that you? I heard like a crack or something. Hello?
Oh my god.
Is that you? I heard like a crack or something. Hello?
Oh my god.
Is that you? I heard like a crack or something. Hello? What? Down the hall? Who's there?
I swear I heard something over there.
Nothing?
Ow. That's weird.
This was open.
This is wide open.
This was open.
That was wide open.
And this is wide open. And it's freezing in here.
Yeah, it's freezing. Even in here, what does this say? 7 degrees.
7 degrees.
I should see if they're. Why they would have the doors open? They wouldn't have left them open.
I don't think so. Let's start a fire maybe.
There you go.
Minnesota's North Woods, Great Lake, yada yada yada.
Same thing, but Canada. You know what I mean?
It does, yeah. No, the Great Lake region and central regions of Canada. It's right where we are.
Which, you know, I'll be honest though.
Minnesota, it says like Minnesota. We're like right north of Minnesota. It is historically associated with cannibalism, murder, insatiable greed, and cultural taboos against such behaviors. Known by several names, Wendigo.
Which are the same thing, right? They're not separate.
They're not separate. I think they're somehow like it's like a physical being, but it's like a physical spiritual thing. It's really weird. And it roughly, like, Wendigo roughly translates to the evil spirit that devours mankind.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know, I was reading a little bit about it, but...
The Algonquian legend describes the creature as a giant with a heart of ice. Sometimes it is thought to be entirely made of ice. Its body is skeletal and deformed with missing lips and toes.
The one thing I was wondering, too, is there any part of the story that would make it possible for us to show up with the doors open like that? Like, in a spiritual form where it could move something, like, in our physical world like that? That's one thing that I really want to know.
If it's like a spirit, Because basically what I'm getting is it's a physical spirit, right?
So
I think if it's a physical spirit, it definitely could.
it could.
It definitely could. It could be anywhere. It could do whatever it wants.
Because I call.
And if it can cannibalize people, as like it's saying here, it can move a door. It's almost like the same thing. It's like here they call it a Wendigo, but in the Navajo tribes in the States,
It's Skinwalker.
It's a Skinwalker. They're described as almost the same thing. They can also like imitate voices. And what I found super interesting is that a lot of the times they imitate the sounds of their victims, right?
Before
They like devour them. So it's a lot of like cries for help, you know? So that's the last thing that the Wendigo hears before they devour their victim's crying for help. And then they mimic that cry for help to lure other people in. Because obviously you hear a cry for help in the middle of the woods, you want to go help them.
Yeah.
And then you're lured in and then it can devour you.
And I heard a clip about it on YouTube. I watched. It took me a bit of digging to find it, but it sounded really weird. It sounded f***ed up. It sounded like it was like help me kind of thing, but it sounded like two different voices over top of each other, and it was broken up. Like it was like me help.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a
the
proper
story.
sentence like a normal person would say.
The legend lends its name to the disputed modern medical term Wendigo psychosis. Some psychiatrists consider it a syndrome that creates an intense craving for human flesh and a fear of becoming a cannibal. Ironically, this psychosis occurs in people living around the Great Lakes of Canada and the United States. I feel pretty safe inside, but...
I mean, I do after we cleared the house. The doors being open was like a little bit weird, but it's not...
Could have been... I don't know. It doesn't mean it could have been something weird.
No.
Or it definitely was.
But it also, I don't think that actually left all these doors open.
No.
Guaranteed.
100%.
We don't have any mics going, but Jordan's room that he's staying in, this light was going totally fine for the last, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours?
It just started flickering like
It started doing this as soon as you wanted to go to bed. You never plugged your phone in yet, right? No?
No.
It just started?
It just started, yeah.
It's so dark in here. Oh my god. Is something in here with us? Can you let us know through the ovulus? A physical form or a... Oh my god. What?
It's going nuts.
If we have the spiritual form of a Wendigo here, can you let us know through the Spirit Talker app? You have actually right outside where everything happened too. This is the stoop where everything was left.
You knock on the wall. Can you stop doing that? I'd like to go to bed. I want to know that you're not going to bother me. Whatever you are.
First, we should introduce ourselves. My name is Johnny.
And my name is Jordan.
And we are staying here for the next couple days. And we just want you to understand that you can come and talk to us at any point. We are here to listen to you.
Can you tell me who you are or what you are?
Oh. Big flicker.
She killed us.
She killed us.
Who's she? It's like she had like a Wendigo.
Oh, a spike.
Do you miss hearing human voices and just hearing your own voice? What is that? Why? I'm not even wearing mic packs, nothing. Wow. You heard that
There
one.
was a knock in the hallway.
Was that you in the hallway?
Hers?
Are we gonna like get a story that's just like completely sideways?
Completely
Like
separate?
different, like
Yeah.
separate from like...
Missed talking.
I've missed talking. And it went off. I've missed
It did, yeah, I heard it go
talk
off.
to us. We are the people that you want to talk to. Dude, there's something about when we do these investigations. They want to come through.
You miss talking. What do you miss? What do you miss saying? And what do you want to say to us? I don't know if that one makes sense.
We were just gonna go to bed, but if you would like to communicate with us, we'll stay up with you. We're here.
Oh, another.
So can you make it go up again if you want us to stay awake? If so, we'll put our microphones on and we'll get some equipment out for you to speak with us. What was that?
Yeah, I heard that too.
That sounded like the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I think it was, but it sounded like it was from the other side of the house. It didn't sound like it was from the bathroom.
What was that? What was that?
Yeah, I heard that too.
That sounded like the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I think it was, but it sounded like it was from the other side of the house. It didn't sound like it was from the bathroom. Oh. There's a little spike right there. Just a couple feet in the hallway.
I'm hearing like clicking to my right though. Are you still here with us? We didn't want to scare you off while we were moving around. Your lamp is completely turned off.
Oh yeah, I think it just like died.
It's plugged into the wall. How does it die?
Well, I mean, it didn't die. Like the bulb burnt out.
I swear to God, if I hear that movement on the...
There.
Was it because of my phone?
Oh yeah.
No. Wait.
I don't think it was. I thought it was for...
No,
oh,
see?
there it goes again.
It isn't. My phone's too far away for anything like that.
Yeah, your phone's definitely not affecting it. My phone's not
My
even
phone's
in my
way
pocket.
over here.
My phone's in the other room.
And why isn't that one going off on the bed? Like on the pillows?
There's nothing there. There was something here for a second. I think it's gone now.
Your light's out again, completely. And there it goes. What is going on? There, look at it!
I don't know, man. Whoa.
Look at that!
Whoa!
What is going on? Oh my God. That is completely f***ed.
What are you doing right now?
You're here with us right now. I can feel you. Oh my God. That is insane. Oh my God.
That was too close.
That's too close to the mic. Why? Look at the light. It's so
this thing
bright right now.
Completely, like dead, dark, done.
But it was fully. It's not even half of what it was before when we were gonna go to bed.
Yeah, it's like
It was like this is half of that, and it's still crazy.
I prove I'm here.
I proved I'm here. Yes, you have.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you for proving you're here. Wow, unbelievable. That is probably, I mean, some of the best Ovilus communication we've had ever.
Okay, so this person was killed by Beatrice, or this was Beatrice? I'm trying to remember.
It said, she killed us, and then it said Beatrice. But before that, it said, I will talk to you. And now it said, I proved I'm here. Yes, you have proved you're here. Thank you very much. And we don't know how you fit into the story we heard, though. Who are you? Can you come flicker this candlelight?
I will appear.
I will appear. Okay. Where are you going to appear? In which room? Like, that's the thing, is we don't know. Is it going to happen in your room? I'm happy you took that room, to be honest with you.
Me too.
You're going to be... You told me you're, like, in your room. Like, something's going to come crawling out of the attic, and I'm going to be exposed to it. I think you are.
I'm totally fine with that. Can you appear right here in front of us?
I'm, like, looking for stuff that might be moving.
My remains.
My remains.
My remains.
Why is all this about death and everything? Like, she killed us, my remains. Before we got to this location, we were actually super excited to see what the Ovilus would give us, given the different circumstances to what we normally go for. But throughout the night, we ended up finding out and realizing that the obvious is telling us a different story, something that was more related to the loss of life. Where are my ashes? These responses kind of gave us the feeling that somebody had passed away in the cabin or near the cabin.
Where are your remains located?
And as the investigation went on, we thought it might be possible that these two could be connected. Originally, we thought maybe it was that somebody just passed away. I'm freaking out, man. My hands are shaking. As soon as we said goodbye, said we're lost here.
We're lost. We're here to find people.
And they weren't able to find the remains. And in order to get a better burial or get a proper burial and move to the other side, they needed us.
Or find something.
Find anything. Okay, well, we're gonna say goodbye again, but we'll keep...
Whoa.
What? No, I don't even want to say goodbye yet. Then we thought that maybe the reason they couldn't find the remains would have been due to the fact that there was a Wendigo attack near the cabin or at the cabin at some point in the past. And we didn't view this as useful in the moment, but we do want to go back and maybe potentially look into that scenario again in the future. We're lost to your tears. Man, it's hard to say, like, I don't even want to shut it off now. It's like, when it gets like emotional like that, it's like, she killed us, pain, like, I proved I'm here, I will appear, my remains, we're lost here, tears, all this stuff is like telling me something, somebody's has passed away here and they're not found yet.
Everything just quit recording on my night vision. This is the camera. This is the spot where he ran to, where he was out running. River was down the trail. I'm gonna try and find it now. This looks like it. Oh, I don't want to do this. There's already some tracks. Hello? There's somebody there. I swear.
Wasn't it like she killed me or something? These things are going crazy right now.
Yeah, Beatrice. I will talk to you. She killed us. Beatrice, Dare, Pain. I've missed talking. Why is it doing that now? I'm a good person. Little boy around you upset me. I proved I'm here.
I proved I'm here was a crazy one.
That sounded like that stopped for a second too.
She said, I proved I'm here, because she was flickering that light, and now right by that light, our K2 meters are going absolutely crazy right now.
So is anything here with... Do you want us to get into this bed, or what is going on? I just watched it. They were just going nuts.
And then just stopped randomly. Just completely stopped. Did you move on to somewhere else?
Where do you want us to go in this house? Something's here and we want to figure it out. We want to tell your story.
Were you killed by the Wendigo?
Hang on. Warm. It is very warm. We do have the fire going now. It was 7 degrees when we got inside here. Both doors were open.
This is very warm.
It's very warm right now.
Because we lit this fire earlier, and the Ovilus just said it's warm, so good, we're making good communication.
We want whatever was here earlier to come back. Warm.
What was that?
Right behind you. Can you let
Was
us
that-
go? Oh my god.
This light just shut off.
Look at the plug-in. Plug-in is right there.
Still plugged in. Let's see. Yeah, no, it just died. The lamp just died right now.
As if.
What's going on? Do you know that you're a ghost?
You saw that.
I was facing this way. I saw that.
Can you shut another light on or off? That was insane. Dark?
Dark? It
said dark.
It just said dark after it shut the
After it
lights
shuts
off?
the lights off? What?
Man.
Dude, that's knocking the back door.
You hear knocking in the back door? Okay. This place is insane.
I just heard something knocking here. This place is insane. It's locked still. Oh man. Nothing. I'm not leaving it open.
No.
Every single time we do that, it's something bad. So he's tapping on the back glass. I heard that when I was in there. I didn't know what it was. You're hearing that? It sounds like somebody's tapping on the glass. On the back.
What is that?
It sounds like tapping on the fucking glass. I heard it. Oh my god. It sounds like this.
That's really loud.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's been about a week or so since we were at the cabin and we did the live stream on YouTube. But I remember in the moment right before, like leading up to me throwing up, I remember smelling a foul smell and it was starting to get to me and I started gagging and it started coming up and I remember I wasn't able to hold it and I ran for the bathroom.
Where are your remains buried?
Ooh. There was nothing, and now that I can hear it. Okay, I gotta lock in here. There's like nothing out here, but it just went like it started crackling and a voice came through.
I'll say it again. Where are your remains buried?
My lungs collapsed.
My lungs collapsed.
Ooh, gross.
What'd you hear?
It said, it was like a voice over a voice. It said, come here.
Where are we supposed to go? It's very vague.
Oh,
Okay, it's not a lot for me to work with. We heard a lot of crazy Ovilus responses. Can you just say yes if your killer was a female?
Cancer.
It said cancer again.
it's an eye in there.
Okay.
And it's like one voice is coming through.
In the bedroom? Is that where you are? Because I think that's been the spot with the most activity. Is that where you are?
Said no, I'm not.
Can we help you in any way?
I'm getting this like foul taste.
Really? Oh no. Okay. Okay, oh my god. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened, guys. You throw up?
Yeah.
He's coming.
He's coming? You need to go outside for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go outside, get some fresh air. Okay, what happened?
I don't know. I just started like feeling very like freaking out, man. I started tasting this sour every time the voice comes through. Tasting this sour taste.
Like sour, like what? Like sour milk or something?
Not like that. Like just like bitter or sour.
That's super strange. Well,
This is amazing.
Oh, it's
this is amazing. Oh, I said this is amazing. No, it's not amazing. It's kind of weird. It's kind of
See, I don't like that. Jordan? No. Jordan?
No, it's-
Stop. I don't want any of that right now. I'm still freaking out. Started vomiting and it was dark. Like, no, stop.
Okay. Are you done?
For a second.
Are you okay? You done?
Normally we do remove and try and get rid of these kind of pieces of footage because we're just not sure if we're supposed to be posting this kind of stuff. But that was a weird moment for me, being on live stream, and I did kind of want to shut it down in the moment because it's just not everybody takes kindly to something like that happening. Let me put this thing. Put it there. Oh, my stomach. I'm still not feeling 100%. We came for the Wendigo, and everything that happened yesterday was like there's a different story that's trying to be told to us. If this is gonna continue, we're gonna drive to the back side of the trail. I think it's like 10 mile or 10 kilometers or something like that. To the back side of the trail, and we're gonna start from that side of the trail and see if we can figure out anything with the Wendigo stuff. Because the reason we want to do that is because there's a good chance if we start on this side of the trail, it's going to be like just too close and we're going to get interference of whatever this is here. But before we do that, We want to see if we can figure out a bit more of this story.
And it could be even connected.
It could be connected. And we want to try and finish this off and figure out if this person needs some help or anything like that before we decide to leave the cabin. Draining. Yeah, it's like draining me yesterday.
Yeah.
Is what happened to me last night, why did that happen? And what was that smell that I was smelling?
It's focusing on something right beside you. Big box. Like a big yellow box.
That's the last thing I want. I think it's just going. We're not moving anymore.
We haven't been moving, we've just been sitting here. Is that you moving that? You say yes?
Can you make that go off again? If we go down the path
Occupy this land.
again,
We occupy this
I
land.
said the same thing yesterday.
What do you think that means?
I think it's like Aboriginal, like Native. Something to do with that.
Mm-hmm. And like the lands around here are still like not fought over to this day, but there's still a kind of dispute over the land and stuff with the Canadian government.
If we go to the other side of that trail, will we be able to figure out if what we came here for is actually around here? Can you tell us anything about the Wendigo? You have any stories for us?
Geraldine?
Some names I've never heard of, or I've heard of.
Some of this stuff is just starting to sound random to me. Mm-hmm. Like it's probably not anything. Remember yesterday you said, I'm a good person. So it couldn't have been you that made Johnny throw up. Is there something else here? Or are you lying about being a good person?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My name is Jordan. I introduced myself yesterday, but I'm not sure. Whoa. Motion ball again.
I wonder, that wouldn't be me this far away, would it?
No. You pretty much established, like, you pretty much have to touch it.
Plus, when I got up and walked over there, it didn't go off. Is whatever was here last night that was bothering me still around?
Just hearing static. There's nothing.
That's what I heard yesterday until I heard it. Are you still around with us? It's a REM pod. What is that? Can you come touch that again? Thank you.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Jordan.
Hello?
Is there something you want to tell us through the REM pod? Or just letting us know that you're here?
Oh, I just heard like a beep beep.
In your headphones?
Yeah. Oh, there's a voice. It almost sounded like it said hey or something.
Man,
The first voice I've heard this entire time.
That's exactly what happened to me, and then I started smelling that smell. Can you let it go? What? Holy Spirit.
Oh, wow.
Like as in the Lord, or you are just the Holy Spirit in general? Interesting.
Well, if there's a spirit, the Holy Spirit's the one that we want.
Yeah, cool. Wonder if it'll do it again right away. Can you come back and touch it again? Just so we know it was you.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much...
We get outside.
We have to get outside. I think we've pretty much exhausted... Because it keeps saying the same thing about remains and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just going to keep repeating that until we like get out there and try to find something else. And maybe we'll find the Wendigo. Mm-hmm.
I think this is the, I know that I saw the trail. Oh, this is it right here. I'm pretty sure. It's so hard to find out where this trail is. This looks like it might be it. It looks like it might be out here.
You know, from the description, I don't know, because like there was no snow on the ground when they were there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Even when there was leaves on the ground, they said it was hard to find. All these trees, though.
Fuck, we've been walking forever. We haven't found shit.
I know you hear sleds roaring all around you, but you know they're miles away. What are all these tracks, though? These are not like, they're not footprints. They're gotta be like animal tracks.
They look like something.
These are bedding areas for animals. These are deer bedding areas. See that? That's a bedding area for a deer, or...
So why aren't they here?
I don't know. I should have brought gloves.
You should have. I brought gloves. My hands are freezing.
Here, take this. I don't know why there wouldn't be deer here then. Unless we wouldn't have spooked them because we would have heard them. There's nothing out here.
Hello, is anybody here? What the fuck?
What was that? It sounded like cracking in the trees. Let's follow this trail.
Is that a deer? It's a deer
It
bedding.
be a deer.
There's
No way. Shh. 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 Keep going for a minute. You can. Oh, what is that? That looks like an actual boot print coming from this way. There's nothing out there for so far. Imagine that was an actual footprint.
I swear I keep hearing something over there. I'm hoping it's just a deer.
Look at all these trees, man. They're just broken branches everywhere.
That's kind of strange, though.
Dude, this is exactly where I would have pictured something like that story to happen. No way. Hang on. Pass me that light. I swear I thought I saw something.
You heard that?
It's a dog. That's got to be a stray dog. Or is that's not a wolf or a coyote? Shh. We have to turn the light on to get back. How far are we? I don't know. My phone's in the car too. I can't look at my maps. Turn that off. Turn it off. Stop recording. Get the maps. I don't know, fucking man. We should not have come so far. What the fuck are we doing?
This is the dumbest thing we've ever done.
What?
This is the dumbest thing we've ever
I know. Is that a cabin? Just keep going towards the red light.